Hello and welcome to this new post where I would like to summarize what I demonstrated in a kind of workshop that I did with a couple of students. So in case you need a kind of demo of IoT and Power Platform integration and maybe integration into Dynamics 365 F&O, then you can probably make use of what I show you in the following. Yeah? So let's try to go through this in really a hands-on manner. Yeah? So on the left-hand side, I basically show you the PowerPoint. On the right-hand side, we will do all of the exercises. Yeah? And what I want to show you in the following is how we can start with an IoT device and some business cases for IoT devices. I mean, you probably know them better than me, but they relate to reading meter data for machines, vehicles, so that you can invoice customers. You can easily identify problems. Yeah? If a machine is breaking down or something is leaking, and so on. So for all of these scenarios, you need an IoT device. And if you followed my last blog post, you know that I'm playing a lot with Arduino boards. Maybe you are a Raspberry fan. And if you have no idea how to plug the different cables and things together, then this post is something for you, because the only thing you need is your mobile phone. But let's see what we will go through in the following. So once we have this IoT device, then we want to grab the data and put it somewhere. So we basically want to take some sensor data from your mobile phone and put it in Excel so that we can analyze the data. And here I listed you some examples what you can do with these connection and analysis tools. So later on we will use Power Automate to connect the data, but rather than analyzing sensor data or grabbing sensor data from an application, you can analyze stock data. You can use currency exchange rate and import it somewhere. You can connect on-prem and cloud systems, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, we need a BI tool or a reporting tool to analyze the data. And finally, we want to create an app to illustrate you the data from your mobile. Okay, so here is the process flow. So we start in Azure IoT Central. Then we have Power Automate. We transfer the data to Excel. Then we use Power BI, and then we create an app. So don't run away. It's all pretty easy. What you need is, as I said, your mobile phone, an Office license, and an Azure license. So if you do not have an Azure license, maybe ask your teammates or inside your company whether you can have something. It won't work with the trials because the connections that we use later on require a kind of license and not a trial version. Okay, so first thing what I want you to do is you need to install an app on your mobile phone. And let me show you that. So I'm here, that's my mobile phone, and depending on whether you use an Apple or Android device, you need to follow different steps. So I go here, do not want to install Power Apps, but IoT plug and play. So this is the app you should install. Might take a while, but this is the app that basically makes or turns your mobile phone into an IoT device. And then we can grab the data and analyze it. But let's see how this works. So I'm installing that, and if it does not take too long, then we should see this app here. So we can open it, and once you open it, it says you should scan a QR code. Okay, so at this point we just stop because before we can scan the QR code, we have to do some other settings. So let me show you that on the slide. What we need to do, so we are here in this first step. And now we need to log into AzureIOTCentral. So I'm already logged in here. That's my user, Diane. And once you're logged in, you probably see this kind of site. And we are going to create, of course, a device. So we build a device. So we click on that. And then here at the bottom, you can see multiple devices. But we create here a custom app. And then we leave this one blank. Not blank, I mean, we just leave the defaults. Of course, you can change the application name and all of these things. And then we select here the cheapest option. In my test, it did not work with this free trial. Actually, the Azure IoT will work with that, but the connection to Power Automate won't work with that. So select this one. And then here you need your Azure subscription. I have here a sponsorship pass for the workshop that I did. And then you select your region and then say create. And then you have to be a bit patient. And depending on your internet connection and all of your settings, it might take a while. So now it's finished. If you got interrupted or if these things did not properly work, try again. Sometimes I had to do it twice, but ultimately it should end up here in this screen where you see all devices. So let's go on. And now, of course, we don't have a device, so we need to create one. So let's create a new device. That's the device name. And we just say create. Okay, so we have a device here. And I have a mobile phone. But now the question is how to connect them. And well, the answer is also easy. Let me show you that on the slide. And in parallel then in the application. So you click on this hyperlink. And once you have done that, in the upper left hand corner, there is this connection string. So you say connect. And that's the point where you see the QR code here. So here's the QR code. So let me do that again on the slides that you can follow it. And now you need your mobile. So let me open mine. So I say I have to move that a bit. So it's directly in front. So now we say scan the QR code and I allow to access my phone data. So that's my computer. And then it establishes the connection between your mobile phone and Azure IoT. It might take a while. All of this depends a bit on your connection, on your network, and but after a while, on your mobile phone you should see something like this. So we have here different sensors. It asks you if it is allowed to see your location. Of course, you want to have that. So we see geolocation, we see battery level, barometer, and so on. And here are some properties of your phone. Who is the producer, and so on. And if we click on the left side in the slides, you can see that again. So the important thing is that you have this one visible. And if you are in Azure IoT, it should say connected. That's the important thing. And that's it basically. So you basically created your probably first IoT device. It's not a sensor or something, but we just used your mobile phone because your mobile phone has a couple of automatically built-in sensors. Okay, and now here if we go back maybe, then we can explore the data. So if you want to see the sensor data on your phone, you can go to devices, then you click on this device, and then here in the overview you see now all the information. You see battery level, altitude, you see here the rotation of the phone, and if you move it a bit, So you won't see that, but I'm moving my phone a bit, then all of these things change. And of course our aim is to grab some of the sensor data and then transfer them to Excel in our case. You can use a different database or whatever you want, but we want to transfer the data to Excel. And of course I'm not using altitude or battery level because they don't change very often, but I will use some of the other things here, like this rotation and so on. Okay, so that's it for the start. Of course there are many things that you can do here. You can set up rules. So for example, if your battery level is less than 20%, you could send out an email to somebody. You can export data. You can connect applications directly from here. Let me try to find that. If we have here an export, oh, it's not here. Let me try to find the rules. So maybe create a rule, and here at the bottom, here at the bottom, that's what I want to show you. Actually, you can directly send emails, you can create webhooks, and you can have the Power Automate integration directly from here. But that's not what we want to do, because I need to create first the Excel document. So now we have basically our IoT device. We have the data, but we want to transfer them to an Excel sheet that we need to create first. And here a hint, if your device goes into sleep mode, so if you see the connection here is kind of interrupted. So if it says disconnected, then it might be that your mobile phone goes into power saving mode, that you have disconnected something. Then try to start the app again, or try to scan the QR code if nothing else works. But ultimately it should wake up and show connected here again. Okay, so that's it for this point. The next point is we want to connect and transfer the data to Excel. And for that, I am opening OneDrive. So I'm here in Office. So I'm opening here OneDrive. And what I did was I created a library. So I'm actually not directly saving the file on OneDrive, but in a SharePoint document library. Why is that? Well, because I wanted to show that OneDrive, SharePoint, Power Automate, they all work integrated with each other, and that we can make use of that. So I select here, return to classic OneDrive. And then I have here this library. So we are still here in OneDrive. If I click on this library, it should change. And then we are here in SharePoint. So again, if this was too quick for you, on the left hand side is the slide deck, where I show you that. And then we create a new workbook. So we say here, new Excel workbook. I call it, here column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4. So we create 4 columns. And then, of course, if we want to fill these records, then we need to define this as a table first. So we say here, format as a table. Maybe we make a gray one. And then we say my table has headers. And of course the aim is that the different lines are here filled with the sensor data. So let's close this. And maybe let me rename this file. I say here Ludwig English. Okay, so that's our file. Let me show you that again. Here in the slide deck, if this was too fast for you, and then we can rename it. Okay, and now the aim is, of course, we want to connect Azure IoT Central with our Excel file, and the tool for that is Power Automate. So let's go to Power Automate and log in. I have already done that, so I'm here. And what we want to do is we want to create a new flow. So here on the left hand side, it depends on whether you open this the first time or not, but we create a new flow. I'm already logged in. So you also need to log in, and we say instant cloud flow. We are basically just doing this manually. We use this manual trigger, but of course you can run this data export from AzureIOTCentral every minute, every couple of seconds if you like. But remember that it will consume some of your Azure budget. So I say Ludwig English flow, and then I say create. Okay, so now comes the most important thing. And here you have to get the correct action basically. So what you need to do is you create a new step, and then you search for IoT. And you select this one, AzureIOTCentral. And now you have to grab the correct action. And because I always forget that, I highlighted it here. So we need the yellow connection. It's called get component telemetry value. Get component telemetry value. There's something that has module inside. I used this one because it always works with that. And then we are here and need to fill these elements. Okay, and then the question is, of course, maybe you have to sign in, but we need to fill this. I don't want to learn more. So the application is available from a drop-down. That's this one, 16 and something. And this ID comes from here. That's this one. Then the next thing is you need your device ID. And the device ID is this one here, this strange name. So let me enter that. And now, if you open that, you will see there's nothing. Why? Because we have to select first here the device template. So it goes this, then we work from bottom up. And once you selected the device template, you can select the device component, where we select sensors, and the device telemetry, maybe let's say rotation, because the rotation changes often. And it fluctuates a bit. If you select the battery level, then you might have to wait a long time until you see a change. So let me go through that also in the slide so that you can follow it. Select it from the drop down, sensors, and then in the left slide in the PowerPoint, I selected battery level, but for this one, I selected a different one. And now we need to connect it to Excel. So we say here Excel Online Business, and we want to add a row. So add a row into a table. Okay. And now the location. The location is not OneDrive for Business, but it's this library, because we stored our document in this library. So just remember, it's this one. So just in case you don't find your file, then we say Documents, and here we say now Ludwig English, and then we select here the table. Okay, and that's it basically. So we save it first, and now you see the 4 different columns that we have. So now in the columns we say, okay, we include, for example, timestamp. Then second column we include the rotation X. These are the different axes that measure the position of your phone, X, Y, and then Z probably. And then we can save it and test it. So if everything is fine, then we should see, after the test run is successful, we should see that some data is shown in the Excel file. So let's see if that worked. It is still running, but it's green here. So if we open the Excel file, we should see a value. Yeah, there's a value. Okay, now I move my phone and put it in a different position. And what I will do is, I will run the flow again so that I have at least a couple of data, because later we want to analyze it with Power BI. But to analyze the data, I need a couple of records. So let's see. Now we should have a second record. Now I move my phone upside down. And let's run again this flow just to get some additional data. And please just repeat that a couple of times also on your side. And while doing that, I can go through the slides here. Let's say you might have to log in if you use the connector the first time. Then you use the linkage, you add the different sensor data, and then you run the flow. That's all what we need to do. And then just check that you have a couple of data here. Okay, so that's it basically for this. Now next step would be we want to analyze the data. So let's close this, and analyzing the data we use Power BI for it. So we are here now at this point, and what I want you to do is to open Power BI and sign in. So here I'm in Power BI. That's from my previous demo. So I just open this. And now I want to get new data. So I click here on Get Data. We use the data from a file. And now the question is, what should you select? And the answer for my example here is SharePoint. Why? Because the file is actually on SharePoint. Now if you ask for this address, then you can go to SharePoint, copy this URL and paste it here. And then make sure that you clean out everything after the library name. Otherwise the connection might not work. So in my case, I have here this document library with the shared documents, and here is my Ludwig English file, and I say connect. And here you have the question, how do you want to make the connection? So because we want to refresh the data automatically, we select this one, and then we are here. So let's go through the PowerPoint in case this was a bit too fast for you. So we select SharePoint connection. Then we have here the URL that we take. I did that in Office. Go to SharePoint, select this, copy the URL, paste it, and then select the shared documents and connect it. Okay, so now we should find in my workspace Ludwig English. So we have this here. Let's click on that. And what you see here on the right hand side is the file, the Excel file with the timestamp and its different sensor values. And now just design something that looks nice. So I make this here big. Make it as large as possible and use an interesting graphic. This one looks interesting. So again, here on the PowerPoint, to follow, just select this, select the layout, make it look nice, and make the report as big as possible, because otherwise it might be small if we include it in the Power App. And of course you can format this nicely. And once this is done, you save it. So I say Ludwig report English. I save it. Okay. So that's my report. Again, here we have to pin it then to a dashboard. So let's see, pin it to a dashboard. And the dashboard that was automatically created is Ludwig English. So we say pin live. And then if you're here, we should see this report. Huh? Okay, that's it for Power BI. Huh? Of course, you can do more with the data, you can analyze it, but I just want to have a graphical illustration of the data. And yeah, of course, depending on how you set up the connection, you might want to set up here an automatic refresh or a scheduled refresh of the data when the data changes. So let's wait for this to open. Takes a while. There's a refresh open for your data sets, and this really depends on the connection that we established. Okay, but now let's move on. While this is loading, here's the refresh or the scheduled refresh, and then you see new data points. Okay, let's move on then with the Power App. And for that, you need to log into Power Apps. So in case you do not know the point where we are and the website, I listed that here. So you sign in, and what we are doing is we create a new Canvas app. So we say here Ludwig English app, and we say we use a phone layout. So we create the app, and it seems my computer is just a bit slow. Maybe I don't know if it helps if I close this bit. Power BI. And let's go through the slides then. First, so we want to have a phone layout. We enter name, create the app, and yeah. Ultimately, we should arrive at this form or space where we can then insert a label, for example, if you want to make it nice, and then of course include this Power BI tile. And that's the key, that we connect now to our Power BI workspace and select the report. That's what I show you here on the slides. And then we adjust it, save it, and then yeah, you can make changes, save it again, and publish the whole thing. So that's what we want to do here. Let me try to open a second workspace. Maybe that's a bit faster. I don't know what happened here. So sign in again. See, is it still working? So we have here apps. Let's create a new one. Canvas app. Ludwig E2 for English 2, and then create. And hopefully this is responding a bit faster. So I say skip here, and let's quickly insert this this report. So we are here, charts, Power BI tile, and now we select these My Workspaces, English, and now I think it's this one. Let's see. Yeah, it's this graphic that we want to see. So let's make it bigger. And of course you can do whatever you want here in this app. I just want to have this report here. Then I say save this. And once it's saved, it becomes available in an app. So we can open it on our mobile phone. And let's try that. So let me try to grab my mobile phone again. Still here. So I have to say connect again. And now the next thing would be to open the Play Store, because we need to install Power Apps from Microsoft, I say install, installieren, German. And once that is done, we can open it. Of course, we have to log in here. So I have this user. Let's see. And then if I click on all apps, we should hopefully see the English one. I have the German one. The English one is probably not available yet. Let's see. Maybe let's make a change and insert a label with a text. App. And then we say save and publish. So let's see if this one worked, and if my connection is good enough, we should see here on the mobile phone this new app. Not yet. Maybe let me close it again. Close all. And let's open it again. Okay, it's not there yet, but let me open the German one. It's a similar one to show you what I did. So I allow Power BI access. Say here, okay. And this was the German app where I used a slightly different report layout. But I hope you got the idea. Might take a while until the English app becomes available for me. So let's wait here a minute and refresh it. But this is basically what I wanted to show you. How you can basically start from IoT and end up with a Power App. And here is then the last thing, how it looks like. Okay, so that's it for this demo. So even if you do not have an aptitude for working with Arduinos and cables or Raspberry Pis and plugging things together, you can still do a nice demonstration how we can work together with IoT data, connect it with Power Apps, and then display things in a Power App, or you can transfer the data to Dynamics 365 applications, or find other use case scenarios. So all of this is pretty simple. I hope you got an idea how this works, and I hope you found this demonstration useful. So thanks a lot for watching and listening, and then till next time.